Hey guys, in the last video about the history of this anime, we saw that Kane saved the princess and the duke's daughter from an orc attack, and shortly after, he ended up engaged to both of them and even earned the title of Baron at just 10 years old. Today, we'll see the continuation of this story, but before that, make sure to drop that like and subscribe to give us a big boost, okay? Let's get into the recap. This episode begins with Kane receiving the key and deed to the mansion given to him by the king. Kane feels relieved, since finally he'd be able to leave early and have free time. But what he didn't expect was for the Duke to arrive and invite him to play Reverse, the game Kane created in the previous episode. Kane accepts, but soon a bunch of people show up to play against him as well, and Kane would soon be occupied for a long time. After that, Kane heads towards his mansion. Upon arrival, he notices that the place is completely in ruins, and it seems to have been abandoned for years and years. He goes inside and confirms that the place has truly been abandoned for years and looks very run down. He continues to inspect all the rooms and it just keeps getting worse. Despite the ugly situation, he notes that the house is actually quite large and not entirely bad. Then, Kane uses magic and starts cleaning everything rapidly. He cleans and repairs everything at an incredible speed and is very happy with the result. He lies down on his bed and hears the voice of Sylvia, his maid. She is accompanied by other maids and Colin, his new butler. After that, the maids go off to clean the entire house, but they're surprised to find not a grain of dust in the entire place. Kane mentions that he already cleaned everything with magic. Sylvia easily accepts, knowing him for years, but the new butler finds it impressive and finds it strange that the other maids aren't surprised too. Then, Colin tells Kane to head to his father's mansion. Since his two older brothers are going there today, Kane has to receive them. Upon arrival, his brothers say they're surprised that Kane got a title and even a mansion before them. They say they're really proud. After that, Kane invites them to see his new home. His father finds it odd that it looks brand new and totally clean, since he had visited the place some time ago, and it was completely dilapidated. Kane responds that he just used a little magic to fix and clean the mansion. His father thinks it's nice, but says he doesn't see any artwork, and for a noble, that's very necessary. He suggests it could even be a stuffed monster or something. Upon hearing this, Kane leaves and returns quickly. After that, the maids scream, and they go to see what's happened. When they arrive, they see that they're terrified by a massive red dragon right at the entrance of the mansion. Kane, on the other hand, says it's just a stuffed red dragon. His father says he knows that, and what he wants to know is why it's there. Kane explains that he defeated it and kept it as a trophy. Upon hearing this, his father is completely shocked, since not even a group of rank A adventurers could handle that dragon. But despite everything, his father admits that having a stuffed red dragon is better than any ordinary decoration, and he says one of those is worth 1,000 platinum coins. Kane thinks and is shocked to realize that that dragon is equivalent to 10 billion yen. After that, they hear a loud scream from Kane's mother and hurry to her. Upon arrival, she asks what the heck is that thing in the bathroom that shoots water to clean after use. Kane says he used magic to make water come out of it. Yes, he just made a magic bidet. After that, Kane's father dismisses it, saying that they made a big deal out of just that. They tell him to try it, and when he does, he says he has no choice. If they want it so bad, they'll have to have one too. The guy liked the blast in the rear. After that, his father informs him that he'll have to throw a party for the nobles, since it's customary in that world to do so when you buy or receive a mansion. They prepare everything, and finally, the day of the party arrives. Kane starts receiving the nobles, and everyone is astonished by the giant dragon. After that, Kane welcomes everyone and thanks them for being there. He mentions that he prepared a different drink and good food for everyone. Everyone is surprised by the champagne, as carbonated drinks don't exist in that world. They are even more astonished by the glass cups and the hamburger he prepared. Then, the king arrives and says he has never seen anything as beautiful as those glasses, since nothing like that exists there either. He drinks the beverage and is impressed by the fizz, and he is also very surprised by the hamburger, as it's really tender and tasty. After that, the king decides to test the bidet at the queen's request, and he lets out a shout when he feels the spray. There it is, and he exclaims that they need to install that urgently in his palace. After that, his butler calls him and notifies him that Marquis Corgino is approaching. Cain already knows him and knows that he's quite a nasty character. Cain goes to receive him, and the guy starts dismissing everything Cain presents to him. Corgino insults everyone in the place and demands to be served immediately. After he tries the champagne, he actually likes it but says it's bad. He does the same with the hamburger. But Cain had a plan already. Soon enough, the king arrives and witnesses Corgino's arrogant behavior and strongly reprimands him. The Marquis bows and apologizes profusely for his action, and the king tells him he should rethink his behavior unless he wants to lose his title. The next day, Cain goes to the king's palace to deliver some monsters he captured. Daim, the vice-captain of the royal guard, encounters him and shows him the place where he could put the monsters. Cain, however, says it wouldn't be enough, since there are too many monsters. Daim then leads Cain to a more open area, and Cain unloads all the monsters he had in his item box, including earth dragons and other legendary monsters. Daim is extremely impressed and can't believe what he's seeing. The knight asks if Cain is a hero or a disciple of the gods, and in that moment, Cain becomes nervous and denies it. But Daim takes notice, and you'll see how this information becomes important later in the video. After Cain delivers the creatures, Daim invites him to demonstrate his sword skills to the captain. He first introduces Cain to the soldiers, who dismiss Cain and do not believe he can be that strong, as he is just a 10-year-old child. One of them volunteers to fight Cain, thinking it will be easy. However, Cain moves incredibly fast and defeats the soldier, leaving him astonished by his speed and strength. After that, Daim suggests that Cain fight against 30 soldiers simultaneously, and Cain has no choice but to accept. The fight begins, but before the first attack, the captain yells and orders them to stop. She arrives and asks if they have no shame pointing their swords at a cute little child, and then she hugs Cain. After that, Daim explains who Cain is, saying that he fought alone against 30 orcs and saved Princess Telestia. Upon hearing this, she becomes very happy, as she is extremely obsessed with fighting. She wastes no time and immediately invites Cain to a duel. They begin, and they engage in an exciting battle, both being very fast, but clearly, Cain outperforms her and ultimately wins. After being defeated, the eccentric captain suddenly proposes to Cain, and everyone is shocked. Cain becomes nervous and says she can't do that, as he's only 10 years old. She says it's fine and decides to go talk to the king to resolve this matter. They go, and upon arrival, the king is angry with Cain for having secured another bride, as he was already engaged to Teles and Silk. After that, the king explains to Cain that the captain is the princess of the Elven Kingdom, and marrying her would cause a huge stir among the two peoples. However, Tijuana, the elf, says she doesn't mind, and the king tells her she must seek permission from her father, the elf king. And so she does. After that, she grabs Cain and runs off to fight him again. The king and the nobles stay in the room discussing Cain, wondering how he can be so strong to the point of defeating the kingdom's finest knight. Then, the king asks Cain's father why he has such enormous strength, but his father doesn't have an answer either, as he has been very strong since a very young age. At this moment, they remember the question Daim asked Cain earlier. Well, he tells the king that Cain was a bit shaken when asked whether he was a hero or chosen by the gods. The king finds this odd and says he has a test to find out who Cain really is. Cain is summoned again, and the test is revealed. They hand him a book, and he begins reading it calmly without any concern. The problem is, the book is written in Japanese, and no one in that world understands that language, which is the Japanese language, the language of the kingdom's founder, the hero Yuya. Upon realizing this, Cain is quite surprised and confirms his suspicions that the founder was Japanese like him, and probably reincarnated just like he did. And soon enough, the king asks who Cain is. Cain has no alternative but to reveal everything. He tells them that he has memories of his past life and that he received the blessing of the 7 gods when he was baptized, and even met them. Upon hearing this, everyone is surprised. But Cain mentions that despite all of this, he likes his new life, and he is truly the son of his parents, he just holds the memories of his past life. After that, Cain displays his stats and reveals his true power. Obviously, everyone there is completely astonished to see the numbers and the amount of abilities and blessings he possesses. The king says that with his powers and being chosen by the gods, he could easily make everyone bow down to him, even take the king's place. Cain mentions that he would never want that, and he enjoys the life he has and would like to continue that way. He says that he didn't understand anything when he was reincarnated, but his father, mother, and many people were kind to him, and he enjoyed the adventures and experiences of learning magic. The noble's present promise not to tell anyone, and it becomes a secret. After that, the crazy elf returns and says she got permission from her father to marry Cain. And now the boy has 3 fiancées. And this is how today's video ends. Don't forget to leave your comment down below about what you thought. Also, remember to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up so you won't miss any of the upcoming videos. Finally, I've included an exciting video on the end screen, in the style of Taken, where Tetsuo takes down a Yakuza member and does everything to hide his body. It's an anime full of tension and mystery. Check it out, you won't regret it. Sound good? See you. A sensational video here on the final screen. It tells the story of Oliver, a boy who ends up in a sinister magic school, and there he encounters various mysteries and adventures. Click here on the screen and go check it out, it's totally worth it, alright? Until next time, see you later.